This here is a canyon that is, I've talked about this before in my other video called The Secret of South Weber. Well, this canyon right here is notorious for roadside crossings, and especially crossings across this area right here. I haven't marked anything down here or over here or anything, but I just want to talk about this area. So this is, you can see that this is part of the city. Okay, it's right up against the mountains. We're not talking like center of the city or anything, but still it's going through neighborhoods and whatnot. Usually, well, in my experience, always, the Sasquatch are going to follow green belts. So you can see these depressions, this green belt here. Now the interesting thing is, this area here, the highway, this is a very, very busy highway. Every time I drive past this highway, I look at this stuff, and there's a lot more. But if you can tell right here, there's one tree, it's a separate tree than this. So this is one tree, and this is an entirely different tree. This is a tree here. I think maybe this is a tree, and this is a tree. And then there's this, and then there's stuff further up. Anyway, you'd never, driving past on the freeway, you'd never think that was special or significant. Okay, but if you start to pay attention to those little subtle things, then Sasquatch stops being a mystery really quick. It becomes quite obvious where they cross the road and all that stuff. And I will show you this right now in person. Those two logs on either side of that arrow thing actually are different logs, but if you follow it up, there's tree lanes up there. There's two of those big tree lanes. Their corridor goes right along the military crest of this hill. Now behind me here is a little community full of fruit orchards. This place is just full of fruit orchards, and all the animals come here. And so that will explain a lot of the activity. Anyway, let me show you what's down here in this little forest. And I'm gonna show you something that's really cool. You see this area underneath the train tracks here? Okay, right through here, there's a really, really fun, cool thing. So I want to go show you. And notice too, this is a swamp. Now, I believe that this area here is one of the main places where they cross, because it's where the green belt comes right up to the road. This is a zone where there's no development. There's obviously no hunting. There's no parks. There's no trails. There's no reason for the public to ever be back here. It's just a perfect, opportune place to cross. It just goes to show all the things that can happen right under our nose. Okay, we are approaching that place that I was telling you about. The train tracks are right up here on top of this berm. There's the tunnel going under the tracks. Probably farmers use this area. The road that goes over there doesn't lead to any main road. It just leads to farming fields and dirt roads. So probably farmers here. The thing that brought me here a year ago was I was trying to identify where their corridor was, and I noticed this wood pile. And look at that really bright plastic bag that's never been here before. A bright color. It goes this way and this way, so it's kind of converging right here. It's pointing. That kind of got my attention. Just the amount of logs and everything just in strange positions. Oh, there's a bone. Oh, and that's the thing is, okay, so I came up here. Again, just looking at all this strange stuff. And I noticed this. Now this, people are not going to be able to argue that that's natural. That, my friends, is a wall. that is built up to block visibility from the road, from the dirt road back there. Okay, so if we're down behind the wall, this is the visibility. Notice that these things aren't just piled, they're kind of placed and woven. There's converging points and everything. So anyway, let me just back up so you can see a better shot of that. There would be a gap right there, but now there isn't. There's no visibility. But from the other side, now look, behind, this is just something that I continually just find captivating about the way that the genius of Sasquatch, they'll make a blind, but just to cover their blind, or to basically obscure the blind, they make kind of another blind in front of it. There's layers. So see how the branches have been broken down, and then there's this X deal, and there's kind of, you know, whatever, just a bunch of bramble. That covers the fact that there's such a clear wood pile here. Now there's also cover from all this crap. There's just cover kind of going up the hill, so you can't really see down into here very well. Okay, but obviously the big thing, oh, there's another bone. That wasn't here before either. So the golf balls, there's kind of another story to that, to the golf ball thing. I'll get to that in a sec. But here you have what looks like an old, maybe an old cistern of water, maybe some sort of building once upon a time. And you have clearly some things that have been placed. Okay, you have a bunch of, you have 2 logs going across, maybe 3. I've never counted how many there are, but, and then there's all of this wood piled up against it like a lean-to. Okay, there's that A-frame looking thing back in there. Now, by the way, guys, this is changing. This changes regularly, the structure here. But so we're going to go inside. We're looking down. A lot of these structures, you'll notice, do not have roofs. This actually used to have kind of a roof, kind of like you see over in that corner. But either it collapsed or it was taken down. But there used to be a beautiful stack of bones right over there, right in that corner. And there was also a pile of golf balls and what was it, like some Mylar balloons and bottles or whatever. So, oh, and it was Snickers, it was candy bar wrappers. So pile of bones and candy bar wrappers and bottles. And so I thought that was interesting. And they were deer bones, so it's not like a homeless guy went to KFC. And the other thing that I want to talk about is that this is not a place where a homeless person would hang out. See, homeless people go for amenities. They go for a place where they're going to have shelter, social interaction, maybe drug deals or whatever, places where they can have access to amenities. And this just doesn't have resources anywhere near. There's no gas stations, no liquor stores. There's no buses no bus stations by here. So just think about that kind of stuff before you say homeless people. All right, so let's keep analyzing this. Now, you always need to pay attention to the ground symbols. Now, this is also new. All these bones are new, actually. Look at this, bone. But look at this, a Triforce, like I always talk about. And this one has a stick coming to it, but not in it. Sometimes they'll have there's going to be a Triforce triangle, and then there's going to be a stick coming up through it, or going down and sticking up in the air. Sorry, I'm just hearing stuff. You got just a bunch of bones scattered. Now, intact carcasses, I have seen those before in Sasquatch areas. Holy crap, look at that. Oh my gosh. Look at this. So you have bones. See, this is a perfect example of what I call bone stacking. I need to stop saying bone piles. Oh, I'm getting so soaked. I'm getting wet. I need to stop saying bone piles because these are clearly stacked in kind. You know, like I guess that's over there is the pelvis. Right here is I don't know, femurs, humerus bones of different animals. I'm forgetting my anatomy, guys. Sorry. Oh, look, and in the back you have jaw bones jammed into the ground. Holy freak! This is awesome. You know, this area has never been active while I've been in it. No, that's not true. The first time, I think... Yeah, the first time it was active. Okay, so 2 times it's been active because the last time I came here, I was hearing stuff, and that was at night. And then the very first time I came here. But I've been here, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 times total. And usually there's not any bone piles. I mean, obviously there's some unopened stuff. Look how interesting that is. Why would there be things down here that are unopened? That is weird. I almost want to drink it, but I'm not gonna take someone else's stuff. Got some crackers. Got some Powerade. Pristine. Now, if you think homeless person, oh look, there's a railroad tie. Looks like it's shoved in the dirt. Freak, guys. See, this stuff is fascinating. How can someone not think that that is absolutely fascinating? If you don't find that utterly captivating, what is wrong with you? See, if you're going to think homeless people, do homeless people kill and eat cats, raccoons, deer, skunk even, pine marten? I mean, I can just go on and on and on. Beaver. I found a beaver, or not me, but Mark, my friend Mark, found a beaver down in the Provo area. Had a huge human bite taken out of its tail. Somebody bit it like a waffle, like an Eggo. Who does that? So oftentimes you'll see like candy bar wrappers, like I said before, human-looking stuff, and then you have these mutilated carcasses and bones that have been picked clean and stacked. Guys, that's not a decomposed carcass. That is stacked. That's intelligently stacked. Now tell me what animal does that. Human is the only thing you can say here, okay? What animal, what raccoon would stack a... Oh, look at that. I'm not even realizing how many bones there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. 5, 6 bones in there. There's 2 pelvis bone, or I mean, maybe the same pelvis bone. I'm not sure. I don't even know what that is. It's gotta be a pelvis. I don't know. That's a carnivore. Obviously not a deer. Maybe that's a raccoon. A cat? I have no idea. It's not a... Well, I don't know what that is. But what homeless person, what person is going to do that and why? And keep in mind that it's in with all these crazy structures. I mean, and you have, guys, this is built. See this tree? It's a cut. It once was a cut log that somebody dragged over here and stacked up here against these other logs, and then they built some sort of crazy topless shelter. There's no roof. There's bones scattered all around here. They're building blinds. This is big construction. This isn't a raccoon, obviously, and if it's a homeless person, why? I mean, this place is swampy, it's gross, it's really stinky. There's 0 reasons in my mind why a homeless person would stay here. If I was homeless, here's the thing that people need to realize. When someone is home, I hope it's gotta be my shoe. It's gotta be my shoe. When someone is homeless, they don't suddenly become Bear Grylls or Les Stroud. You don't go from homeless to survivalist, to specialized, military trained survivalist, professional. You don't do that. This is where if they're gonna throw things at me or knock or whatever, this is where they do it from. So don't mean to invade, guys. Whoa, look at this. Holy crap. Okay, so big log right there in front of us goes up, meets up with, so there's 4 logs total joining right there. None of them have grown there. Not a single one has grown there. And I will prove that to you in the places where they are. First of all, that is a gigantic structure. There's one tree in there, this one in the middle that's wilted, but there's tons of other trees shoved in there. Look how huge that one is. And that one's upside down. Okay, this, no bark, no branches, ripped out of the ground. You can tell that this is the base because it starts to fan out to be the root ball. No bark, no branches. That did not grow there, I promise you. That one does have bark. Nope, no bark on that one. It's just old. No bark and no branches at all. I had no idea this thing was here, man. I've actually never come up the hill. There's a blind, there's a pocket. So right in here, that's where something could be to look over that area down there where I was. This is a big shady, I had a word for these. Lodge is what I'm gonna call them. These big lodges. It's not the same thing as a shelter. A lodge is exactly like this. It's disorganized, it's gigantic, but it's an actual place. See, what I call shelters, I don't actually think that they ever use them for shelters. I don't think Sasquatch build wigwams to sleep in. I really don't think that. I don't think that they build teepees. Well, generally they don't build teepees, not small ones anyway, to sleep in. They will build gigantic teepees that are kind of clustered and disorganized like this, and I think that they spend time in there. But I'm gonna start calling those lodges. I can't tell you how much I love that I found this, guys. I never knew this is here. So tell me how you can explain all this. This is a steep hill. Remember, I couldn't even come up this way. This is really, really steep. I would just slide all the way down. What homeless people, what, this is my question for critics. What one answer can explain what we're seeing, everything we're seeing? You have to be able to answer everything with one culprit. I really doubt that there's some sort of syndicate of homeless people coming and working on this stuff in their spare time, or working together jointly to build all these gigantic log structures. So holy crap, I see oh no, that's just a sewer pipe. Okay, coming back in here. There's been some disturbance to the soil recently. Interesting. I did not even know this little place existed. This makes so much sense. This makes so much sense. This is where they were. When they were knocking and throwing stuff at me from up on the hill, this is exactly where it was. Look at this. Look at this. I'm in a perfect little circle of trees. Holy cow, that is perfect. It has a blind here, so if I'm crouched down, you can't see me from up top. Look at this. This little circle of trees. That is so cool. Gosh, this is cool. Man, I hope I find some prints today. Looks like some raccoon scat. Man, if I went down inside that lodge. Oh, look. Okay, so inside of this is a shelter here. See how natural all of this looks, but it's broken. It's all broken. It's all stuck there. This is a shelter, and down inside the shelter you can see there's a big pelvis bone. It's a deer. It's a mule deer. And so something eats. This is typical of them. They don't usually eat down in flat areas. They're gonna eat up on a hill behind one of their little thatches, their little crisscrossy log thatches. That's typically where I find the bone stacks. To one scientist's credit, Mark Para talked to me about this. One scientist did actually try to explain tree structures, and this is what he said. He said they are leftover remnants or leftover ruins from Indians, from the natives before this land was settled by white man, which cannot be true. That can't be true. That doesn't make any sense. Think about that. How fast does it take a log to rot, especially in a place that's swampy and gross like this? How long does that take? Suggesting that all of these structures are hundreds of years old does not explain the bone piles inside of them, does it? It doesn't explain how they change daily, sometimes weekly, monthly. It doesn't explain lots of things. It really doesn't explain hardly anything. It doesn't make any sense on any level. But at least one scientist actually tried to grapple, tried to actually deal with this. So, I mean, he has a little bit of respect just from that, All right. Whoa. Just heard a guy's voice. Probably some people down there. Anyway, there's this strange deal. Love that. Okay. Currently, I am inside of that little lean-to deal. And once I got in here, I could see the pelvis. It's actually small, so I don't think that's a deer. I don't know what that is. Yeah, maybe it's a deer. Yeah, it's gotta be a deer. Of course it's a deer. There's this backbone that I didn't see from up top. And then there is the ribs here. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? The sticks, all these sticks are piled on top of it, crossed over this stuff. So the bones, the body of this thing is actually buried beneath a pile of sticks. And if it wasn't for all these leaves everywhere, you'd see these sticks. You see these sticks. See? It's actually a pile of sticks covering this body, this old carcass. And by the way, this or something I can grab. This backbone is still flexible. See how it's flexing? You can still see the tissue in between. So this backbone is not old. It's not old. Look at that tissue flex in between there. So I just added a stick to his little pile. All right, now let's go down to the big lodge. Now we're down in this lodge. Very, very thick in here. There's no way anyone would be able to see you from the road or from anywhere, really, from above or below. All these sticks just bent down like a giant arch. Everything's bent down like an arch. Everything's piled in here. Then down. Oh, stick just snapped. Two sticks snapped. One stick snapped that way, and the other stick snapped this way. It's okay. Weirder things have happened in this area that I'll talk about in some other video. But okay, so guys, don't be offended that I'm doing this, please. So this walnut, this little area is a sitting area. I'm out. Now we're back to this guy. So I need to go back and get my umbrella. But guys, remember the map that I showed you at the beginning? This is right near some cities, or I mean some neighborhoods, right on the border of the city. So how close are they coming? How close are they coming? Now, some people think they're, you know, magical and stuff, and that they come to your house, they come to your bedroom, they, you know, visit your dreams and all of this stuff, which maybe they do that stuff. I have no idea. Who am I to say that they don't? I haven't witnessed it. What I have witnessed is this highly, highly intelligent, sophisticated, yet animalistic behavior. Always in the correct habitats, always in the green belts, the trees, the dense foliage. There's patterns. This species has the same needs, as far as I can tell, that every other species has, which is food, water, rest, all that stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.